Now at 10, talk of taxes and solar farm annexation at the county commissioners meeting today in Girard. Plus, innovation and industry takes center stage at a tech conference in Southeast Kansas, and a Southwest Missouri college strengthens the community with a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Crawford County commissioners had their plate full today with continued tax talk about a proposed solar farm, the SEK Humane Society's shelter debate amid a funding crisis, and certifying the November 2025 election results. This is KOAM News. I'm Anthony Saviello. One of Shasta Power's owners spoke about the taxes they'll pay if the Mulberry annexation is approved. The multi-million-dollar proposed solar farm was the focus of a heated public hearing at the courthouse last night. This morning, John Kopiak told commissioners the annexation won't reduce the taxes paid to the county, which are normally exempt under state law. Instead, he says Shasta plans to pay 10% of those taxes.
Shasta is offering to pay 10% of the exempt portion of the development, and it seems to me like it would be a wonderful financial win for Crawford County and Mulberry. And if Mulberry's services can be improved, that improves the services of this whole area.
The decision for the annexation is expected by November 18th. SEK Humane Society Director Jasmine Kyle asked the Crawford County Commissioners this morning for their thoughts on changing the shelter from a low-capacity sanctuary to a high-intake, open admission system due to rising public demand. She warned if the shelter adopts the high-intake model, euthanasia rates would likely increase significantly. Kyle says the animal shelter is currently in a financial crisis and needs an average income boost of $30,000 per month to stay afloat.
Animals entering our shelter have been strays, so more than half of our intakes come directly from the community, finding wandering and lost pets.
Injured.
And injured. Animals that we've cared for as a part of our shared commitment. However, as we look toward the future, we must determine whether we can continue operating under our current sanctuary-based approach or transition.
Kyle told the commissioners the SEK Humane Society has a survey out asking the community the best way forward. She says so far 80% of returned surveys said they want them to stay with the current model. The Crawford County Clerk met with the commissioners before today's meeting to canvass and certify the November 2025 election results. Before last week's election, tests were conducted on the voting machines. Today's meeting confirms those tests were completed properly. Provisional ballots and write-in votes are also counted during the canvassing process.
Turn anybody away, but we do provisionalize them, which means they go to a separate table. They're allowed a ballot, but they have to go through the process of filling out a registration card with all of their current information. And that's where, when they come back to us, we have to take them and make sure we do our due diligence to make sure that that is a voter that should be counted.
The county clerk says voter turnout was about 18%. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney.
Temperatures tonight only dropping down to the low 60s, and we're already in the mid to low 60s, so we're really not cooling down much more than that. Now, taking a look at our temperature trend, today we got into the upper 70s. Tomorrow we'll hit about 79, maybe even 80 in some areas, especially out in Oklahoma. And on Sunday, we've got a dry cold front coming through that's going to drop our temperatures just by 10 degrees, still above average. But our record temperatures, this is where things get interesting. We could see temperatures reaching about 79 degrees. Well, on Saturday, set back in 1960, the record is only 77. So we could match or break a high temperature record on Saturday. Now, thanks to that high pressure system that we've got over the area, through the earlier this week and even into the weekend, that's what's causing our warm temperatures. No rain chances over the next 48 hours, just these warm temperatures that we're going to be taking a look at coming up shortly.
Lindsay, thanks. Innovators and industry leaders turned out today for the 4-state regional technology conference at Pitt State's Crossland Technology Center. The goal of the conference was to help teachers succeed in the classroom. The conference provided various avenues to meet that goal, such as hands-on workshops, presentations, and collaborative opportunities.
One of the oldest technology teacher conferences in the U.S. There's not very many left, and that's a dying discipline, and that's one thing that we're trying to promote is we need more students going into teaching to teach these disciplines. We talk about the workforce and how we need students to go into the workforce, but you need the teachers to teach that.
More than 150 teachers from around Kansas and the four-state region attended the conference. The Osho County Community College unveils the newly renovated Strom Family Strength Center, a major upgrade to the campus wellness and training facilities. The old metal gym is now replaced with a modern space featuring new flooring, updated HVAC, and top quality professional equipment. This center serves all student athletes across sports and also offers lifetime fitness classes, senior programs, and dedicated hours for faculty and staff.
I've been at the college here for 23 years, and I've seen it come from where it has been to where it is now. Every incremental change that we have made things better for the institution, better for its students. I remember when Matt came as a student, and here he is coming back to give back to the institution.
The center provides a significant boost to student wellness, campus life, and athletic recruiting, and marks another step forward for the college's growing campus. Friday night in the four states means high school football. Ryan, Ben, and the rest of the KOAM sports teams bring you highlights from the biggest games of the night. Friday night football is coming up, but up first, some students in Carthage hit the ground running with a shoe drive to benefit the community. Students in Carthage are taking a big step into other people's shoes by hosting a charitable shoe drive. Shoes in fair condition without holes are being accepted until December 6th. Funds that are collected from the shoe drive will support Children's Haven in Joplin and a struggling family overseas.
And like I said, it was really time consuming, and so for me, it just shows me how grateful I am and how happy I am that I can do this, and we started this, we're doing this, so it just feels really good.
Donations will be accepted until December 6th with several drop-off locations, including the SMB banks in Carthage.
And we got some warm temperatures coming up this weekend. I'll have those details coming up.
And afterwards, Carthage takes on Republic. It's tonight's game of the week, and we've got the highlights.
We got a pretty warm weekend ahead. We can go ahead and take a look at what else we've got coming up. Potential record-breaking high temperatures on Saturday. So our projected temperature getting into the upper 70s, and that is about where our record is on Saturday. Now, next thing to look forward to is isolated showers on Monday afternoon. More widespread chances of rain Wednesday and Thursday, where we could see decent accumulation there. And then next chance for a potential freeze possibly the week of Thanksgiving, just in time for the holiday. I know it's supposed to be a bit of a colder holiday. Now, going back to Saturday, this graphic is showing temperatures above 70 degrees. So all of the red is where we're going to see temperatures above 70. Most of the area in the four states will be above 70. We have dry cold front coming in Saturday night into Sunday, and that will mostly keep those temperatures at bay, especially along the southern coast. And you can see the four states a little bit cooler. Now, we're still going to be in the 60s, but a little bit closer to average than we have been most of the week. Now, again, our high temperature on Saturday, upper 70s, 78, 79. Again, Sunday, upper 60s. Now, our record was set back in 1960 at 77 degrees. So we have the potential to either match or break a record on Saturday. We're going to keep an eye out for that. Moving forward from there, pretty dry weekend, warm but dry. We have a few clouds coming in tonight, a little bit of a cloudier start as we head into Saturday, but no chances of rain even along the cold front. Now, taking a look at downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, pretty mild night. We're only getting down into the low 60s tonight, so rather warm, I would say. And then our next chance of rain doesn't pop up until Monday. So here we are about noon, a couple of chances of isolated showers mostly east of I-49. And then more chances of rain Monday evening, so after about 8 p.m., moving in Kansas and Missouri border as it pushes off towards the Springfield area. Could see some thunderstorms developing, though they'll be out of our area by then. And then we have a bit of a cool down, consistently cool down into the low 70s, so still well above average. Now, by Wednesday and Thursday, we have that more widespread chance of rain, and here we are Thursday morning. Still seeing some thunderstorm chances right along that cold front. There's our dip, our cold front associated with that short wave. It's just a little short wave, so we're not dropping temperatures too drastically, but we could cool back down to average. And then we slightly warm up by next weekend. So this is Friday, just in this slight ridge there with another low pressure system on its way again for the start of Thanksgiving week. Now, rain accumulation, we're only seeing about 1/10 of an inch to maybe an inch north of I-44, and then 3 inches or greater south of I-44. If we're lucky, I would love to see a lot of rain chances, especially, we've been in a drought for a while, so we could use some rain. But most of that clears out by Friday. We're going to be in the mid to low 60s most week, next week, and into next weekend. That second low pressure system that I talked about, kind of hinted at for Thanksgiving week, will come in about Wednesday. So right before Thanksgiving, we could drop just in time to see more seasonable temperatures for us for the holiday.
Yeah, suits us for Thanksgiving. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lindsay. Ryan Blank and Ben McLeish take over the studio when we return. Friday night football action straight ahead.
Employer.
You're watching 4-State Friday Night, proudly sponsored by Sticklin & Sticklin Law Firm, GN Bank, Crockett, and Neosho County Community College.
Welcome into Week 12 of the 4 States Friday Night here on KOAM. I'm Sports Director Ryan Blank alongside Ben McLeish. And Ben, it is the best time of the season. District championships on the line in Missouri, sectional titles up for grabs in Kansas, then Oklahoma playoff football, it's finally arrived as well.
That's right. It's the first week of playoff action in every state all at once, with the best of the best making runs at glory.
One of those teams being the Carthage Tigers taking on Republic in our KOAM Game of the Week. Carthage knocked off Republic in comeback walk-off fashion during the regular season. First quarter, Landon West will start things off for the Tigers offense on the outside carry, taking it all the way down to the 5-yard line here. But it's now third down for the Tigers at the goal line. It's Zane Brown, and he's going to fire it down the middle to a wide open Landon Bland for the score. Carthage goes up 6-0 after a missed PAT. But Republic is driving. Preston McCracken bursts free on the QB keeper, looking to go all the way. But look at this hustle. Malachi Douglas tracks him down and makes a touchdown saving tackle. Republic looking to punch it in. The ball is loose, and Jordan Bruner's got it. Tigers waiting for a signal. The refs get together. They call it a fumble, and the Tigers take over. But Republic would force a punt and start a drive of its own. Back at the goal line, it's Matthew Pelfrey bullying his way into the end zone. Republic would end up taking the lead here, 7-6, going into half, but it's Carthage who dominates in the second half, taking down Republic 31-14 for the district title.
Another rematch from the regular season as Seneca welcomes in Cassville. Opening drive, here's Roman Miller in the red zone, taking it in for the score to give Seneca the early 7-0 lead. First offensive snap of the night for Cassville, and the Indians force the ball out of Mason Bryan's hands. Blaze Graham scoops it up and brings it all the way back to double the lead. Seneca back on offense. It's Miller who punches through the goal line for the score. Indians third of the night. The Wildcats do break the shutout. Here's Colton Rourke refusing to go down and gets Cassville on the board. Now 20-7, Seneca gives it to Miller again, and he breaks out the moves, finds an open lane, and answers his third house call of the night. Seneca cruises to the 47-14 victory.
Lamar Tigers eyeing a 14th straight district title, battling Holden at home. Lamar starts off with the ball, has third and long at the Holden 30. Sophomore quarterback Clayton Powell drops back, finds junior Brady Geyer for the early touchdown. Lamar up 7-0. Lamar's next possession, and they are facing a fourth down this time, but it's a fake. Senior wide receiver Trent Torbeck tosses it to Waylon Knowlton, who takes it 31 yards down to the Holden 35-yard line for a new set of downs. Lamar would capitalize. It's a 29-yard touchdown run by the junior running back Taron Williams to make it 13-3 after a missed extra point. After a fourth down stop by that Lamar defense, the offense takes over, and it's Powell's legs as he gets them all the way down to the 4-yard line, where Jaden Moore would take it up the middle for the easy score. Tigers take a 20-3 lead late in the second quarter. They win that 14th straight district title, 43-23 the final.
The Joplin Eagles eyeing revenge on the road against top-seeded Nixa. And Joplin would strike first in this one. Travion McCadney takes the handoff, bouncing off defenders and spinning his way into the end zone. Eagles lead 7-0. but Nixa would have a quick response. This bubble screen would find Scholar Brown, who gets a block, cuts outside, and showcases the speed down the sideline to tie it up at 7. Joplin was in control early in this matchup. Direct snap to Trenton McCadney, who has a ton of space, evading the defense and waltzing in for the score. Eagles regain the lead. Later in the half, Nixa trailing 21-7. Adam McKnight calls his own number and takes it himself, finding Pater to cut the deficit to 7 at the break. They would take over in the second half to secure the comeback win, 42-28 over Joplin.
The Bulldogs of Carl Junction eyeing a second straight upset on the road, this time against West Plains. After CJ goes 3 and out in the opening drive, Jackson Taylor, he'll take over, and he has a 27-yard run. But the drive would stall, however. Still scoreless to begin the second quarter. West Plains' Ethan Miller looking for the deep ball. He's got Dominic Halen, who hauls it in for the score, 7-0 Zizzers. Back come the Bulldogs. Mason Gilbert rolling out. He's buying some time. He's got a man. It's Bryant Hanks for a big first down as they look to respond. Later in the drive, though, it's 4th and 7 for CJ. They need a big play, but this time, Gilbert's pass is going to fall incomplete after facing a ton of pressure. That kind of day, the Zizzers defense having a good one in this one. Zizzers up by 15 at half. Carl Junction falls on the road in the title game, 29-6 to West Plains. The district champions have been crowned in Missouri, with teams now gearing up for the state quarterfinals. But that's just a taste of the action from us tonight when we return highlights from Kansas and Oklahoma postseason football.
But first, a look at some scores from around the region.
Did you know?
Welcome back to the Four States Friday night. We have more champions to crown in Kansas, with Colgan and Labette County fighting for sectional titles. Kicking it off here in Pittsburgh with the Colgan Panthers battling the Bulldogs of Rossville. The undefeated Panthers coming off back-to-back shutout wins to open postseason play. Late first half, Colgan trailing by 14, but not for long. Clayton Adamson fakes the handoff off the direct snap, and he gets to the sideline, outrunning everyone for a long 52-yard touchdown. Early second half, off a Panthers fumble, Rossville takes advantage. Cannon Mitchell with the give to Cale Horgan, who runs up the middle and finds Pater to make it 21-6. Colgan would respond, going down the field. It's Adamson again, bullying his way forward, saying, "Get off of me," scoring for the second time to make it a one-possession game. However, the Bulldogs signal caller has other ideas. 3rd down and short, keeping it himself, and he gets past the line, racing for a long touchdown run of his own. It's 27-13 after a missed extra point. Start of the fourth quarter. Panthers, though, back in the red zone. And who else would it be? Adamson finds the end zone for a 3rd time, breaking the Colgan single-season touchdown record. But it wouldn't be enough as the Panthers follow the Bulldogs 27-20.
Labette County looking for their first ever state semifinals appearance, hosting Ottawa. Grizzlies with the ball to start, going for it on 4th down. Aaron Wyrick to Nolan Nash, in and out of the hands. Turnover for Labette. Ottawa with the ball, Hayden Hull rolling to his right, looking for Aiden McCullough, but Barrett Hesstand would step in the way of that pass. Nice return here from Labette County. He would finally be brought down, in great field possession for the Grizzlies. A few plays later, Deontay Fields with the carry, finds a nice hole through the defense, makes his way in for the touchdown. 7-0 Labette County very early in this one. Second quarter now, Ottawa on the Grizzlies' 1-yard line. Jaden Knapp has no trouble making it across the line. We are tied at 7. Labette's next possession at midfield. Aaron Wyrick dropping back, firing downfield, drops a dime into the hands of Keegan Bates for an easy touchdown. 14-7 Grizzlies at this point. Grizzlies hold on for the win at home, heading to their first ever sub-state final, 28-14 the score.
In the Sooner State, Grove opening up the postseason against Sallisaw at home. Sallisaw quarterback Case Adams hands off to Jackson Harris on the first Black Diamond possession, but Grove's Will Dunaway and Gavin Wyatt chase him down and bring him down for a loss in the backfield. Grove's first possession, Colby Watson hands it off to Wyatt, who makes a cut up the field and gets the first down before being pushed out of bounds. Let's go to the next play. Watson drops back in the pocket, throws over the middle. He's got Isaac Sheffield, who makes a catch. comes down with his feet, inbounds in the back of the end zone for the score. What a grab. More defense from Grove here coming up. It's Dunaway, Caden Mitchum, and Wyatt again, combining to stop Harris in the backfield again for a huge loss. After Sallisaw turned it over on downs, Watson, he's going to throw towards the back of the end zone again. This time, it's Brady Rutherford stretching out, trying to make the catch in the end zone on 4th down, but a flag would give Grove first down and goal, and it's Wyatt scoring, diving over the pylon to put the Ridge Runners up 14-0. Grove comes away with the win in the first round, 35-14.
Fairland Owls, winners of 3 in a row, hosting Wewoka, picking up late in the first quarter. Owls have a 7-0 lead. Kaylin White with the carry, taking it deep into Tiger territory. Fairland's at the goal line. Carson Schertz leaping, diving over Wewoka's defense for the score, and the Owls keep pouring it on. Schertz is going to pass it deep downfield to White for the touchdown. Fairland with the ball again, and it's not deja vu. It's Schertz and White on the connection for another touchdown. Tigers now on offense. Darius Woods looks for Mike Pisa, but De'Aaron Jefferson picks it off and takes it all the way for the touchdown as Fairland advances to the quarterfinals with a big win at home, 34-6, the final.
That'll do it for this week's edition of the Four States Friday Night. Make sure to stay tuned throughout the next couple weeks as the journey to state title games continue. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's make it a great evening.